Hey guys, so recently a same-sex couple went viral for giving birth to a baby they both carried. Yeah, but before we get into the details, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss any of our videos. Okay, so Estefania and Azahara, a lesbian couple from Spain, made history by becoming the second same-sex couple to give birth to a baby that both partners carried. The couple gave birth to a baby boy through an IVF technique called INVOcell, which allows one partner to provide the fertilized egg while the other partner carries the baby to full term. Now, this is not the first time a baby has been born through the INVOcell method. 5 years ago, a same-sex couple from Texas used the same method to give birth to a baby boy. Here's a clip.
It's being called a fertility first. A same-sex couple in North Texas both wanted to carry their baby. And with a special type of in vitro fertilization, they were able to do just that. Here's CBS 11's Aaron Jones.
This is Stetson Lane Coulter.
Ashley and Bliss Coulter call the 5-month-old their miracle baby.
The way that Mr. Stetson came into this world was pretty special.
When the couple married, they knew they wanted kids. And through what's called effortless in vitro fertilization, they were both able to carry their son.
We gave it a try and it was very, very successful. This represents the first time that two women have both physically carried their child together in pregnancy.
Fertility specialist Dr. Kathy Duty and her husband Dr. Kevin Duty made it happen, using Bliss's eggs and sperm from a donor.
She was so confident when she was saying that she could do it. I think that was surprising to us, but also exciting.
Through effortless IVF, instead of placing the sperm and eggs into incubators, they go into an INVOcell. This device is placed in the body for 5 days where fertilization occurs and early embryo development begins.
What are you doing, cowboy?
In the Coulter's case, after 5 days, Bliss had the INVOcell removed. The embryos were frozen, and then one was transferred to Ashley. She carried the baby to term.
This is a revolutionary type of IVF. It's more accessible, more affordable, and it's truly more natural.
The doctor said that it is more natural compared to what? Just because fertilization took place in a device inside the woman's uterus doesn't make it any more natural than if the fertilization took place in a test tube or petri dish outside the uterus, like in a normal IVF procedure. Now, phrases like effortless IVF or the baby that both partners carried make it seem much more nicer on paper. The truth doesn't change. Just because the baby was fertilized in one and carried to full term in another doesn't mean that the baby contains the DNA of both mothers. The baby still has only 50% DNA from one of the mothers, while the rest is from an unknown donor. No matter how much you try to remove men from the equation, it is just impossible to conceive children without a father. The child will grow up not knowing about a major part of who they are, their ancestry, or even their medical history. Regardless of how loving an environment you try to create for the child to grow up in, they will always have lingering doubts about their father. Who is he? What is he like? Do I look or act like him? Do we have the same likes or dislikes? Questions that could easily be explained in normal families are just left unanswered. There's also the whole problem of raising children without a father. Society is already dealing with a fatherless crisis. We've already done a video on this, which you can check out by clicking on the link in the description. Now, another problem with effortless IVF is that it still results in multiple embryos, most of which remain unused. They are either immediately discarded or frozen. Millions of children are killed in the earliest moments of their life. Even when the embryos are frozen to be used at a later date, still violates their basic human dignity because they are deprived of the protection and development they would otherwise receive in their mother's womb. However, in today's culture, many women are taught that it is empowering and even freeing to freeze your eggs until you are ready to have kids, until your life is perfect. They are given a false sense of hope and encouraged to ignore nature and chase after a career instead. When these embryos are eventually removed for potential use, most of them are either unusable or damaged. This is exactly what happened in the case of Bridget Adams. She gained a lot of attention for appearing on Bloomberg Businessweek's cover under the headline, "Freeze Your Eggs, Free Your Career." In order to focus on her career, she spent $19,000 to freeze her eggs in her late 30s. She wanted to wait to have children until her career was set. She married the right guy and owned the perfect house. However, in 2017, at the age of 45, she decided to go ahead with her dream dream of starting a family since nothing else seemed to fall into place. So she unfroze the 11 eggs and proceeded to select a sperm donor. 2 eggs did not survive the thawing process and the 3 others failed to fertilize. This left only 6 embryos, of which 5 appeared to be abnormal. The remaining one, which was implanted in her uterus, also failed a few days later. These women were lied to and told that they could get married and have kids whenever they wanted, so they abandoned their natural instincts in the name of empowerment and freedom to work a 9-to-5 job and pursue a career. But by the time they decided that they are ready to have a family, it was unfortunately too late. So, what is the fundamental problem with fertility treatments like surrogacy and IVF? Why has the Catholic Church been against such procedures if they want couples to have more kids? Of course, there is an aspect of killing children when unwanted embryos are discarded or left frozen for years without care. A child is a child from the moment of conception at all stages. Discarding embryos, abortion, and infanticide are all sinful and evil since they all involve killing children. But another major problem is the sense of entitlement or the belief that everyone has a right to have children. If you take a look at the INVOcell website, their homepage states, "Everyone deserves the chance to create family." This is similar to what you would expect from any IVF or fertility treatment site. If you want a child, there shouldn't be anything stopping you from getting one. However, this whole approach is forgetting one thing. Children are a gift from God, not something you are automatically entitled to receive. In the encyclical Donum Vitae, or Instruction on Respect for Human Life, the Congregation for the Doctrine of Faith had this to say about the suffering of spouses who struggle with sterility or infertility. On the part of the spouses, the desire for a child is natural. It expresses the vocation to fatherhood and motherhood inscribed in conjugal love. This desire can be even stronger if the couple is affected by sterility, which appears incurable. Nevertheless, marriage does not confer upon the spouses the right to have a child, but only the right to perform those natural acts which are per se ordered to procreation. The document goes on to say that claiming some kind of right to have a child goes against a child's dignity and nature. A child isn't an object to be manufactured in a lab, but the highest and more freely giving gift of a marriage. The child is a living testimony and fruit of the conjugal love of his parents. Every child has a right to be conceived out of the loving union of his parents and not in any other way. No matter how badly you might want to have children, you don't have the right to manufacture them into existence. While it may seem convenient to label IVF as easy, effortless, affordable, and more natural, the truth is that it replaces the mystery and beauty of a couple naturally bringing forth a child through their self-giving love. What should be a gift becomes a product of separating the procreative and unitive aspects of the marital union. At the end of the day, human life begins at conception. Every human life is worthy of respect and dignity. They should not be created only to be discarded. They only have the right to come into existence through the love of their parents and not as if they were some science experiments. So, what do you think about this? Is IVF morally wrong, or should the church allow it? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, let us know by liking and subscribing to our channel. It helps us a lot. Until next time.